The views expressed on the Nova Society are those of the panelists and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Phoenix Research Institute or any institution which any panel member is associated.
I'd like to welcome everyone back to the Nova Society. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, and I'm here with my panel, Dr. Scott Gershwer and Dr. Mark Baum. Today we will be answering listener emails. Thank you again for your emails. And we have a question from Tom, who lives in Vancouver, BC. Yay! And Tom asks, President Trump hosted Ukrainian President Zelensky and hinted at a potential peace deal with Russia, while Putin remains resistant. Is this a genuine peace initiative or a strategic performance? What do you all think?
So I'm not sure about the syntax here. On whose part? A strategic performance on whose part?
I would assume on both leaders. I mean, Putin and Trump's part. I don't know. That's what the question reads.
Yeah. Let me see if I can give a little bit more, because I see the whole thing. I think what he's talking, I don't think there's any thought that Zelensky is being performative at all. I think he's really into it. I think what he's talking about is Trump and Putin, because Trump is the initiator, supposedly, and Putin being the resistor.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way. And if we're getting that wrong, we're very, very sorry. But I believe that is the question: is Trump just being, feeding more meat to the base, and is just Putin just basically stringing everybody along, I guess would be the best way to put it.
And I'm imagining this is referring to the meeting on Monday with the other European, with the European leaders, not the meeting with Putin on Saturday.
Right.
Correct. Friday,
whenever it was, where Lavrov wore his a CCCP shirt, which is USSR in Cyrillic on U.S. soil. Yeah. And if you look at that video of Trump walking toward the camera, you'll see that Trump weaves from side to side when he walks. He cannot walk in a straight line. That suggests
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in that.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I have two replaced knees. I don't walk in a straight line anymore either. I mean, that's kind of the way.
Well, I don't know why Trump is not walking in a straight line. Why he cannot seem to walk in a straight line. I don't know if that suggests a neurological issue, a health issue, some kind. I mean, but something is obviously
nothing trivial.
Not. Yeah, it's something is clearly not right. And what bothered me about Monday, among many things, is the Europeans, like children with their teacher, and having to bow and scrape and flatter in order even to be heard, is that Trump slithers off and goes and calls Putin, makes the phone call, and then justifies it on Fox and wherever else he talked, because that he didn't make the phone call in front of the European leaders because he didn't want to embarrass Putin. He thought it would be disrespect. I'm sorry, he didn't want to disrespect Putin. Well, it's disrespectful to everybody else in the room to slither away and make a phone call to Putin, and it's disrespect. I mean, So
let's
Trump
get back to the question part.
Yeah,
as opposed to
performative. Yes, Putin is performative. Putin has no interest in peace. He never did. Trump is performative. It's obvious when, again, stepping to the meeting of the two of them. Trump says we have to have a ceasefire, and if I don't have a ceasefire, I'm going to be very unhappy and I'm going to leave. Not only is there no ceasefire, but there's no consequences the way Trump threatened. So obviously the whole thing is performative. And again, Zelensky, of course, is not going to be giving away any of his land.
No.
So for Trump to say, well, he's going to end up with lots of land, I mean, Zelensky needs to have all his land, and the war is not Biden's fault, the way Trump says that Putin told him, well, if you had been president, I never would have invaded. I mean, that just, for Trump, if Putin said that and Trump believes it,
Well, okay.
Right, anyway,
so,
go ahead. Answer the question.
Yeah. Yeah. You lost me at Trump staggering. But anyway, yes, this is performative on the case of Trump. Probably something he's probably looking for that Nobel Peace Prize, somewhere down the line. That's probably his big thing. And I do think that, if we want to consider performative Putin just stringing this along, I don't think he's going to change his tactics at all on any of this. I don't think anything is going to change there. And I think the only legit one in the room is Zelensky. And I did hear, the president of the EU basically saying that no, they should not give away land at all, that was not acceptable. So, to say that they were all there bowing and kowtowing to Trump, I mean, that's, that you can maybe read it that way, but there was some unity in that group. And if anybody was any good at statecraft and understood the people that were sitting there were not exactly the great Trump fans. Great Britain, France, the EU itself, not a lot of great Trump fans there. And they're not there to bow and kowtow to Trump. They're there to support Zelensky. And if you noticed, the conversation went a lot different this time than it did the first time. And I think Zelensky's just brilliant sometimes. When the reporter made mention and apologized about the outfit thing, and Zelensky says, yeah, he goes, well, I changed my outfit. He goes, you're still wearing the same one you were wearing last time. I mean, that's a leader. And he can laugh at himself.
It's a comedian, yeah. Right? I mean, he's a TV comic before he was the
He was,
leader
yes.
of Ukraine, yeah. Yeah, good timing. I agree with everything Mark just said. This was performative on the part of Trump. This is all part of his bizarre desire to get a Nobel Peace Prize, which, I really don't think is that big a deal, but he wants one because Obama got one, and that's really the bottom line there. I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, if anybody told Trump, hey, Yasser Arafat has a Nobel Peace Prize, maybe it would mean a little bit less to him, but I'm sure he doesn't know that. And I'm sure he doesn't know that Henry Kissinger got a Nobel Peace Prize after bombing the shit out of Southeast Asia, right? So like irony is dead when these guys get Nobel Peace Prizes, and it would be dead if Trump got one too. What Trump is doing here in the United States should preclude him from ever getting a Nobel Peace Prize, in my opinion, because this country was doing just fine before he got here and started ruining everything with his police state shenanigans and trying to control the past by telling museums what to do and all the stuff that we're going to cover later on in this podcast. I think the one thing that really bothers me the most about this that I don't think Mark mentioned is this idea that there's a deal to be made, and that there's a deal to be made for land for peace. Because a deal to be made for land for peace is going to be a very temporary deal, because you cannot trust Putin to not put his troops back on the line once he gets what he wants and takes a breath and re-ups again and retools and gets more tanks built and all that kind of stuff. He's in really bad shape right now, Putin. He claimed today, I believe, that he's going to have this all wrapped up by October. Experts who are looking at it say the earliest that he could possibly cover the entirety of Donetsk is December 2026, not October 2025, and he's trying to win with a negotiation what he could not win on the battlefield, and he's got literally a trump card, and that's the card he's playing. And he believed that once Trump was back in office, that Trump would support him, which Trump has done. He has taken away the weapons. Now we're no longer providing weapons to Ukraine. Now we're selling weapons to the Europeans to give to Ukraine. And he's got a completely transactional ally in the White House who is not supportive of Zelensky, and who literally said, "Why can't we get you out of office?" And Zelensky said, "Well, I was due to up for re-election in 2024, but we have in our constitution we have a law that says we don't change during a time of war. We don't hold elections during a time of war." To which Trump replied, "Wow, what a great idea. Maybe I'll try that." And we don't have that in our constitution. We can change. Lincoln faced re-election. FDR faced re-election. Trump is going to have to face re-election. He's not going to be able to stop elections. So those are all things that are at play. But Putin is running out of steam. He's getting another group of North Korean soldiers in, I think it was 5,000 North Korean soldiers in there.
Cannon fodder.
Right, cannon fodder, and people who are checking out the internet for the first time in their lives and seeing what porn is all about. And they're not leaving their tents. and so, I don't think Putin's in good shape at all on the battlefield. And if Trump wanted to end this war, the way to do it would be to give Ukraine the weapons it needs to repel the horde of invaders there, and push them back more, and have Putin tuck his tail between his legs and bring them all back to Russia.
I actually saw a thing. It was in a recent article that was published. I believe it was in The Atlantic. I believe I'll look it up and try to verify it. But basically, it was saying if Putin decided to surrender, he couldn't pull fully out of Ukraine. I mean, just getting all his stuff out of there until March of next year. It would take him that long to be able to get all this stuff and, the infrastructure that they put in there, most of it destroyed and all that other stuff, but just getting all that out of there would take him until March of 2026. So him having it wrapped up by December or whenever this fantasy, date is, I can't see it possible if he can't even pull out in 6 months. That's how embedded he is in there and entrenched he is. So
I haven't seen that article, but I'm assuming that would be more about Crimea.
That's exactly it. That was the rest. That was where it was mentioned. His biggest issue would be getting out of Crimea because of all the naval assets that they have there now. Not only do they have to get it out, they have to figure out where to put it. Everybody thinks, Russia's surrounded by all these oceans, which is very, very true. But not a lot of it is usable oceans. Or usable bodies of water. And yeah, Crimea, Scott, was definitely mentioned into that, and that was one of the sticking points of the fact of getting out, probably out of Ukraine proper. Other than Crimea, he could probably do in a month or two, but it was Crimea that they were very focused on. They said that would take quite a bit of time because they've been there since Obama. So there's a lot of stuff they got to get out.
Yeah. All I was going to say was I don't mean to imply that any of the European Union leaders support Trump. They do not. But they are aware of the need to flatter him and jolly him along, and they need to manipulate him. You can't have a normal conversation with him that is fruitful and effective the way you can with an adult, because he is not a normal functioning adult. And the European leaders are also very, very well aware of what will happen. As you say, Putin will regroup, rearm. His economy is crashing. He will be very much interested. He's got, some of Moldova, he's got some of Georgia, he's got some of this, he's got some of that. And he will be interested in further expansion, because he was not joking when he was talking about restoring the former Soviet Union. And the person who comes after him could very well be just like him, or potentially worse. And the whole situation will continue.
Yeah, well, I think that this is his dream. And I don't know if a lot of Russians really share that dream. I don't know if the leadership there's no way to really tell. We don't know.
I don't know.
One way or another.
But if I were they, I wouldn't want to, bet on.
Oh, I don't think this thing, Brooke, I don't think this thing ends until Putin's dead.
Oh, absolutely. No, he needs to be gone. There's no question about that, because he's not going to withdraw. He needs to be made to withdraw.
And I also think that Trump is a disgrace for talking about the fact that when Putin put the little green men into Crimea and essentially took over the entire peninsula after being in the Donbass region as well, that Obama just gave it away. Obama put sanctions on Russia that were bad enough for them to want Donald Trump to be president and not Hillary Clinton. And they worked toward that end, whether Trump wants to admit it or not. And the reason that they did that was because they were terrified. Putin is terrified of Hillary Clinton. He was then, he is now, I bet, and nothing terrifies him more than that woman. And I think if it had been Bernie Sanders and Trump instead of Hillary Clinton and Trump, that Putin would have stayed out of it, because he didn't care one way or another. But Clinton really scared him. And when she was Secretary of State, she was very forceful about Ukrainian independence from Russia and making sure that they were not just a satellite state, and that they would oust the puppet from there. But the sanctions that Obama put on Putin clearly hurt. Kicking people out of the United States, kicking his spies out of the United States, or closing his embassy down, having them withdraw from the G, whatever it was, 8 at the time, I think. All of those things hurt Putin. And there's no reason for anybody to say that Obama gave it away. We weren't going to war. We weren't going to go start bombing Russia over Crimea, just as we're not doing it over Ukraine. They're big boys over there, and they can fight their own battles. We can help them because we are the arsenal of freedom, and we should help them because we made the Budapest Memorandum specifically to get rid of the nukes that were in Ukraine and other former Soviet satellites, and we should honor that deal by defending Ukraine, short of going to war with Russia. And I saw a bizarre poll question yesterday on Smerconish.com that people are like, hey, let's put troops on the ground, join up NATO, push Putin out of Ukraine altogether. I actually find that quite insane. I don't know what you think of it, Mark, but going to war, the United States or NATO going to war over this is not worth it. It's better to keep the carnage going, believe it or not, and to continue to help Ukraine repel the horde themselves rather than get involved in it.
You know what Trump's response was to that I saw? He was asked what he saw happening with American troops, U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine after Trump. And he said, well, I'm president and I'm telling you it's not going to happen. And this was the part of the question was after Trump. And he simply just said, well, I'm president and it's not going to happen.
Well, we can read into that anything we want. But anyway, I will say this. When we talk about, to your point about the leaders, yes, they did butter them up a bit. Yes, they did. But then again, everybody knows that that's the way to play baby orange Jesus. So they did it. So, I mean, again, anybody that knows statescraft, hey, if that's what you got to use to get what you want,
I know. But it's so easy. I mean, look at what Putin did. Oh, you really won
the election,
2016. Right. It's the mail-in ballots. It's the voting machines. Oh, this, oh, that. And you want to talk about giving stuff away. I mean, it to allow Putin to speak first in this meeting, to even meet with him at all in Alaska on U.S. soil, and to get nothing in return, not say, okay, if you're going to meet with me, you have to return all the Ukrainian children that you trafficked. I mean, Trump seems to love traffickers of underage children. I mean, look what he's done with Maxwell.
Well,
I mean, he's such an, I mean, it just boggles my mind, the embarrassment.
Yeah. Kind of another topic.
Yeah.
I just the whole he just.
We take it you don't like him, Brooke.
Huh?
I take it you don't like him.
I don't like what he does.
Distasteful.
Okay. Yeah, you're disgraceful. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
and it makes the United States a disgrace. And the only thing that I would say, Scott, is that we were the beacon of freedom, or whatever it was, where you say, we're the arsenal of freedom. We were. Mm-hmm. We're not now, I would say. And Trump keeps saying, oh, we gave all this to Ukraine, $300 billion or whatever. No, we paid our own arms manufacturers to manufacture new weapons for the United States, and we gave Ukraine our old stuff that we weren't going to use anyway.
Our hand-me-downs.
Yes.
We gave them the hand-me-downs.
So we were paying ourselves and paying Americans to build Americans, build stuff in American manufacturing in America, which is what Trump has been saying he was going to do. And so, I mean, it just, and people buy what he says.
Yes, that's because people are stupid, Brooke.
Without critical analysis, yes, without critical reflection, and it just.
Okay. Whenever you start sighing like that, you're done.
I am.
I really do hope we answered your question.
Yeah, it's
somewhere in that soliloquy. We're going to take a break. Going to let Brooke have a few deep breaths.
And
calm down a little bit.
Thank you, Tom, for your question. Yes.
It looks like she picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
I was thinking about airplane. I was thinking about that, and it looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking and drinking and quit sniffing glue and what was it, snorting coke or whatever else the guy was doing.
He ran the gamut.
Right.
Yeah, I always thought that movie. I don't like comedy film normally, but I did find that movie quite hilarious.
Yes.
So Tom, I do hope that we answered your question. The Europeans are serious. They're the ones who have Putin on their continent and nearby, and they are not performative, but Putin is. He will say and do whatever suits him. He's a sociopath, a psychopath, and unfortunately here we've got Trump, who also lies and is in my opinion a psychopath, sociopath, whatever.
Okay.
So
deep breath time.
Yes, so thank you everyone for spending some time with us on the Nova Society, as I have a mental and emotional moment of dysfunctionality. Again, should I say, as usual, if you are not yet subscribed on the platform of your choice, please do consider subscribing. Last time Mark checked, we had nearly 1 million subscribers globally, which is really quite fantastic. So thank you again.
We're ranked number 40 in Italy.
Are we?
For political science, amazingly enough. Italy. We're ranked number 236 in France.
Oh, thank you so much.
Come on, France, pick it up.
Come on, France. And Canadians, you got to pick it up, too. We're very supportive of the Canadians. We're 250 in Canada. So the Canadians, you guys, hey, elbows up. Come on, you got to start supporting more there, guys.
I'll say something nice about France if we get to 200, okay?
That's right. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's very funny. So thank you again to everyone. Thank you, Tom. I do hope that somewhere in there we have an answer to your question. Everyone, do please continue asking us your questions. We will try to get to the answers somehow. And we'll see you again next time on the Nova Society.
The Nova Society is a production of Nova Society Media, a division of the Phoenix Research Institute. We'd like to thank our production partners, Buzzsprout, who hosts the Nova Society, Audacity, our editing partners, Apple iTunes, the largest source of podcasts and music on the internet, Spotify, the most popular platform for the Nova Society, and iHeartRadio, your source for all things music and podcasting. The Nova Society is available on all of these and other quality platforms listed in our description. We'd also like to thank all of our listeners. Without your support, the Nova Society would not be possible. If you have a question or comment, we can be reached at nova.society.podcast@gmail.com. So for Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, Dr. Scott Gershwer, and all of our production partners here at the Nova Society, I'm Dr. Mark Bound. Remember, the true power in society is knowledge. Thanks for listening, and we will see you again next time. We'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode, the Journal of Interdisciplinary Conflict Science. The JCIS is an open journal for upcoming scholars. The JCIS is currently accepting article submissions on an ongoing basis. The JCIS is a publication of NovaWorks, a scholarly depository at Nova Southeastern University. A link to the journal is in our description.